my recommendation and Krishna's recommendation, do not try to figure out karma. Forget karma. It's very difficult to comprehend. It's just like, and I gave you the exercise. The exercise was, if you go to India, get a whole coconut and try to tear it out. And every coil that you take out from the coconut, you're going to lay it out. See how long that takes. Full whole coconut. How frustrating it is. Same thing is karma. You can never ever figure out karma. And the other key learning from the karma is, the Western side thinks is what goes around comes around is karma. You do good, then things will happen good to you. Last month I had a contractor come to our house to do some housework, and he said, I do so much good work, nothing good is happening. That's a Western thought. What if you do good things will happen. No, karma is not that. Karma is, you just have a bunch of seeds that you have brought in your life, your desires, you just throw it in the field called mind, and it grows. That's all it is. And then you enjoy it, and you get going. The only thing we need to ensure is that those seeds, once they grow up and they flower, they do not reseed again. That's the only thing that we have to ensure. How do we ensure that? That one is, we talked about the 5 negative energies. Anger, jealousy, envy, greed, delusion. Those are the 5 things that's mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Those are the 5 children that you got to watch out for. If something good happens, you want more of it, become greedy and all those things, that's a negative child. Even though good things are happening. Even though you may be successful in your business, and you say, I want more, that's greed. Even though good things are happening, even though you are having a lot of money in your hand. Karma is very funny. If you are a doctor, for example, or a lawyer, for example, and you say, I want a lot of money, guess what? A lot of people have to be sick. That's bad karma coming to you. But however, if you are a doctor and say, may I be of service to humanity, the whole thing changes. As a lawyer, same thing. If people have to come to a lawyer, people should have problems in their lives. Karma will attach. So it's very funny. Karma is very difficult to comprehend. These are all a couple of things, examples that I always want to share with people. Just do what comes naturally unto you. Again, when we come to the divine, we light lamps, morning and evening. So a question was asked, why do I have to do that? Why do I have to light lamp, like typically in the morning hours and the evening hours? Why not at other times of the day? If you notice over here in the universe, there is a daytime, there is a night time. When it's night, it's 100% dark. When it's daylight, it's 100% light. But during the twilight hours, during sunrise and sunset, there is an admixture of darkness and light. Sandhya? And what's the opposite of Sandhya? Huh? Pratha-kala and Sandhya-kala. When you light that lamp, the lamp is a uniform source of light at that time. At that time, the negative energies, that's why you will see the asuric energies are at its strongest. So when Hiranyakashipu was killed by Narasimha, it was when it was neither day nor night. That's what he wanted, Hiranyakashipu. Because at that time, the asuric energies are at its peak. So when we light a lamp at that time, it is a uniform source of light when the transition is being made from darkness to light or from light to darkness. That's the reason why we light lamps during those 2 times. So in the mornings, when you light a lamp, offer a little milk and just say, I'm going out to the material world and please guide me. And then you drink the milk And then you can call the divine energy to come along with you. You can say Krishna or Shiva or Rama or Devi, anybody whom you love, where you connected most. You just say, come with me. Try it and see what happens. Again, these are all things that you will experience. It will be very childlike. You will become very childlike. Your desires will be there. But what will happen is, the desire that you pursue with an adult ego will be translated into a child ego. Ego, people say, oh, people have ego, I want to get rid of my ego. You can never get rid of your ego, because ego is what, desires and ego are kind of interconnected. Adult ego will harm the other person. It is at the cost of somebody else that I want certain things. Whereas if you look at a child on the other hand has desires, it has an ego, but the child ego will never hurt anybody else. It'll play, it'll acquire, and when it is time for that thing to go away, it will go away and the child will be happy, and she or he will move on to the next thing. So your ego will also undergo a fundamental transformation that will happen. Your adult ego will just vanish and you will be replaced with a child ego. You will become childlike. But doesn't mean you will be like, doing childish things. You will become childlike. That kind of a thing. And you will play with whatever happens. Whatever comes to your hand, you will play with it. Because now you are in constant communion, you are in constant engagement with the divine that is happening. So at this point I will take questions and answers.
Can you explain a little bit more about delusion?
Delusion. Delusional situation happens when, again, we talk about the adult ego. Is this scratching?
Yes.
One second. Hello? Is it okay?
Better.
Delusional situation happens quite often. We've been talking about experiences, our past experiences. Right? Our past experiences on the one hand can liberate us. Our past experience on the other hand can hold us captive. Very important that is. How it can hold us captive is, I have been used to this kind of living for my entire life. I just want to be in my comfort zone. I don't want to move any further. Is how the past experiences can hold us captive. From preventing us from moving on and experiencing the new things that shall come our way. Past experiences. So when those kind of situations happen, we become delusional. There is a denial for anything else to happen, anything else to further come. And this is something that, please be aware that when you are seeking on the path of spirituality, there is no end to it, there is no end state. Nobody can define end state. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Whatever is happening. Because sometimes you will suddenly see that you have lost the connectivity with the divine. Connectivity with what's happening. So always being open to the whole thing. And then being able to just engage in it. That will help prevent from being in a delusional state. So that's again, Krishna talks about it. Anger, then the greed comes in, then we are able to, in second chapter, he talks about that. Then final state is delusional state. He says, don't be in that state. So the past experiences has happened, that's good, it's a good guide, but then move on further out. Often when you're meditating, you will be told, chakra, we'll talk about it later on, later course, later Pravachans. You will see different things happening in your internal state of mind when you're in a meditative state. And some people say you will see some colors, you will see this color, that color, and all those things. And people always say, I've been meditating for such a long time, I don't see these colors, but I see some other color. So because you've been conditioned by some other experiences that have happened in the past, be open to it. You will see probably different things which is probably not seen by her or somebody else. Because each individual is unique. So that's what delusional means. Any other questions? Meditative state. Today when people say meditating, we talk about various techniques which each of the saints have discovered and they share it with the common masses, and then we practice them and all that. That is, you're doing it. A state will come wherein when you're not even doing anything, the end state of a meditative state is like the silence and things like that. In this situation, what happens is, this calmness automatically, you just become meditation. Often people talk about, same thing about meditating, about prayer and things like that. These are all techniques, mantra, chanting, different aspects that are being chanted and things like that. Those are all different techniques. But the end state is, you have to become that. An example that I can give is say becoming angry and being anger. Okay, when you say I am angry, you're not being, it's a technique. I'm going to do this, I'm going to become angry. But when you reach a state, when you say I am anger, that means you lose yourself. When you say I am angry, that means there is something else within, which is inside me, that there is two different things. Angry and something else is there. When you say I am anger, I lose my identity. So being meditative means where you lose your own individual self. There is no individuality that you recognize yourself with. So often people say, when I'm doing meditation, they are expecting certain things to happen. No. When people do, when you're doing a meditation technique, the end state is you become meditative. You become that. That also is meditative. That's a right statement. You shall not do prayer, you will become prayer. You shall not do work, you will become work. Actually, work is for donkeys. You will not do work, you will go and play. When you do something really passionately, very beautifully, you will not work anymore. You will say, I'm going for playing. If you're a doctor, she works for 20 hours, she comes back full of energy, she's not tired, she comes back, takes care of kids, so many other things. Because the doctor, she did not go for work, she went and played. She becomes that. So in the initial stage, that's the reason why often what happens is, we tend to kind of differentiate and we talk about which is better, which is not better, technique is better, this is better, that is better. All those things will fall apart and you will transcend all those things. It's not to say that it is not important. Initially it is important, but later on, it will automatically lose its importance. It's not because you decided that from today on, it's going to lose its importance. Nothing like that.